recipe is going to be a potato and chickpea curry. As you noticed, I've got a bigger work surface that's higher up today because yesterday I messed up my back. So my dad came and he gave me a taller table, so I don't have to bend down because I can't, because it hurts. So I'm actually going to be making brown rice to go with my curry. And to start off our recipe, we're actually going to put our rice in our rice cooker, which means we're going to take 1 cup of brown rice to 2.5 cups of water. We're going to get our measuring cups out. It could be 1 cup of brown rice. Alright. 1 cup of brown rice to 2 and a half cups of water. And we're going to take, let me see if I have my salt out. No, I don't. We're going to take 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. We're going to put that in our rice cooker. We're going to take 1 stir and then we're going to turn it on. Like so. Nothing there. And our rice cooker is on. Now, to start this recipe, we're going to need to boil a potato. I've got a rather large one here. It barely fits in the palm of my hand, and it's just for me. And we're going to need to cut this into about thumb-sized pieces and put it in our bowl and on our pot to boil. First, I'm going to put some water in my pot. That's a skillet we're going to be using later. We just want just enough to cover over our potatoes. That'll be fine. All right. Now, cut up our potato. Now, I'm not going to be able to come to the camera as often as I usually do. I have you pushed back on purpose so you can see everything I'm doing without me having to come forward and come see and come show you. Because right now it hurts to move. So we're going to put our potato in our pot. Now my hair is not up today. It should be. But I don't trust anyone else to touch my hair and I can't brush it myself. So, like I said, about thumb-sized potatoes. Now, I've never made a curry before, so this is my first time making one. And I'm going to do it a little differently than what I've seen, because I have different tastes than those people do, so I'm going to be making my recipe a little bit differently. There's going to be a lot more seasoning going into it. You might have seen in other videos. If the seasoning is an issue for you, just stick to the more simple recipes they have going around that just has salt, pepper, curry powder, and then everything else. Now, to boil my potatoes, I have my pot, and it's going to be going on 280 degrees. Now, while our pot is doing that, we're going to open 1 can of chickpeas, 1 can of sweet corn, and 1 can of coconut milk. We're going to drain our chickpeas. We're going to drain our chickpeas. we're going to need those later. Now, I haven't seen a curry with corn in it, but this one's going to have spinach in it, and I figured I wanted another vegetable besides just potatoes and spinach. So I'm going to be picking a sweet corn to go in it. Let's open that up. Just a little bit. Drain that off in the sink. Hopefully it's not spilling all over the sink, so I can't really look behind me right now. Alright, we're going to finish opening that. I'm in desperate need of a new can opener. So this one's a little bit difficult. And there we go. I grab a spoon out of here to help me with those lids. And that's a fork. Awesome. There we go. Got that taken off. Should always be careful with lids of open tin cans, because you never know when you're going to accidentally cut yourself. Our potatoes have yet to start boiling, so I'm going to turn up the temperature on them. And now I'm going to show you what the seasonings we're going to put in our dish is going to be. Because we have quite a few that we're going to be putting today. Now, in this recipe, I'm going to be putting green curry paste, turmeric, paprika, cinnamon, cumin, basil, oregano, coriander, parsley, some chili flakes, some ground ginger, some nutritional yeasts, some garlic powder, and some maple syrup, as well as a little bit of salt. And after we get our curry made, we've got our sauce in, we've got our potatoes, we've got our chickpeas. We're going to be putting in a handful of fresh baby spinach. It was a lovely present from my mom. That we're going to be putting in. And I'm actually going to, let's see, I'm going to measure out these seasonings. And I'm going to let these potatoes come to a boil. And then I'll get right back to you. So I doubt you want to watch potatoes boil. Alright, our potatoes have been boiling for a few minutes. Now, you want these to where when you pull them out the pot, you can just barely stick a fork through them, because they're going to keep heating when we put them in the curry sauce. So I'm going to test and see if they're ready yet. Probably should have kept that fork out. I just threw in the sink. And let's see. Catch one. They are still hard, so we're going to have that for a few more minutes on high so we can boil them on our stove, because we need the potatoes kind of soft, because you need to be able to bite into them when they're in the curry. Now, I just opened the green curry paste. I've never smelled curry paste before. It has, I was not intimidated by the spice. But, it smells spicy. Coming from a white person, that probably doesn't really say that much. But I am from the South, and I am Cajun, so we're used to spicy things. So, might be a little unnerving. But, yeah. And yes, I know there are some white people that can handle spice. I'm just saying. Sorry if I offended anyone. Let's see. Nutritional yeast. What else? Oh! I borrowed a giant skillet from my mom's house. And I made sure it was induction before I brought it up here. That works. I don't know if it's non-stick. Hopefully it is. I doubt it, because I don't think it has the coating on it. So we're still gonna have the vendetta of the pot sticking probably. And I doubt you want to wait and watch potatoes boil some more, so I'll get back to you in a minute. Alrighty, now that our potatoes have boiled to where we can stick a fork through them, I've put them off to the side on top of a towel and something to keep the heat off from my plastic table here. We're going to take our large deep skillet we have, and we're going to spray it down. A little bit of cooking spray. I've seen people use coconut oil for this. Not a fan of that, especially since it's so freaking expensive. Excuse me. Alright, and we're going to put our pan on to about medium heat. And we're going to cook up our chickpeas for just a minute. And to that, we're going to add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. We're going to be adding more salt later. Alright. Take our little spoon and mesh that around. Now these are beans, so we're going to have to cook them just a little bit to get them kind of soft. Because if you're going to eat chickpeas raw, the thing to do would be to put them in a food processor. But we're not going to be processing these, so we got to cook them down a little bit. Get them to soften up. Alright. Now, I was going to portion out all of my seasonings. Decided just to take all the tops off all of them. So you can see me as I put them in. And I've got my thing of spinach. Our rice is still cooking. Just a few minutes for that to cook. Now we're going to add our corn and our baby spinach last. But if you can see, I'm going to show you our potatoes. See one potato? I can stick my fork through it. It's fine. Now, I'm making curry because I've gotten tired of eating the same things over and over again. And that's another reason why I've started the YouTube channel. So it'll get me to cook more things and get me to experience different dishes than what I'm used to. Because you can't videotape, you can't record yourself doing the same things over and over again. Especially when it comes to food. No one's going to watch the same video 6 times. Well, they're not going to watch 3 separate videos of the same thing. Alright. Now, we're going to turn our heat down just a little bit. It's about medium because we had it closer to high. And we're going to give that just a couple more minutes. Then we're going to add in our coconut milk. We're going to add in our seasonings. Then we're going to add in our potatoes. Alright. Add in our can of coconut milk. Alright. Make sure we get everything. We're going to give that one quick stir before we put all of our seasonings in. Alright, now on to the seasonings. We're going to start with a 1/4 of a teaspoon. Oh, yeah. Do 1/4 of a teaspoon of cumin. We're going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon of parsley flakes. We're going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon of paprika. We're going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon chili powder. We're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of basil, 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/8 of a teaspoon of turmeric. In fact, let's do 1/8 teaspoons of turmeric. Then we're going to take 1/4 teaspoon of coriander, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're going to stir those in before we add anything else. That's right, that's the smaller ones. Alright. Now we have this on about a medium simmer right now. Just stir that bit in. Alright. Now, we're going to put 1/2 of a tablespoon of green curry paste. On the instructions it says to put 1 to 2, but since I've got all my other seasonings in, we're just going to put about 1/2 a tablespoon of green chili paste. Of the green curry paste, excuse me. Make sure that gets mixed in. Alright. That looks lovely. Gotten this really beautiful golden color. Don't know if you can see that. Just gonna have that cook for just a minute. To that, we're going to add about a pinch of salt. Now, salt and pepper is really to taste. Might actually add a pinch of white pepper as well. And we're going to stir this together. We're just going to have that simmer for just a minute before we put our potatoes in. While that's doing its thing, we're going to put our tops back on our seasonings. It smells amazing in here. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm going to put a tablespoon of maple syrup. And about 4 teaspoons of nutritional yeast. That'll be done for our seasonings. I'm going to stir that in. Alright, now we're going to add our potatoes. Now my pot might still be a little hot, so I'm going to take some oven mitts. Now, you know what, I'll just use a spoon. We'll do this one more stir, and then we're going to add in our potatoes. them off to the side. Now, I don't know how many servings this makes. This will probably be good for at least 2 people, I'm guessing. I'm going to give that a stir. Now, I'm making this with brown rice, but eventually I'm going to have my recipe on how to do like pita bread and naan bread. And that would go with this as well, and it'll be absolutely lovely. Get some more tops on their containers. It's easy to see what container goes to where because they have the stains on the inside of them. That picked up. That's simmering nicely. Alright, now we're going to add our can of corn, which I know seems odd, but with all the spice that's going in, it's nice to have a sweeter vegetable to go with it. Help complement it a little bit. Because you always want to try to have a balance of sweet and spicy and vinegary and all those type of things. Something's overly spicy, it's not gonna be delicious. Something's overly sweet, it's not gonna be that delicious. You know? And if something's entirely too salty, it's completely inedible. You know? Plus, it's not good for you to have all that salt. Alright. We're getting close to the time to put in our baby spinach, which has already been washed and dried. So we're going to take this. We're going to take a good handful. My hands have been washed plenty of times. I'm going to put that in. Put another handful into our pot. There we go. Now this looks like a lot, but as you cook it, the spinach is actually gonna like shrink up, kind of get mushy, which is a terrible word to describe vegetables, but that's kind of what it is. Try to stir that spinach in as best as you can. Now, I haven't got any makeup on today, but I do have a pretty dress on because the dress was stretchy and it hurts to move. Like I've previously stated before, I did hurt my back yesterday while I was doing some yard work. I was helping my mom and dad out, and I was actually raking their leaves for them. I seem to have pulled a bunch of muscles and had some spasms yesterday. Alright. That's looking lovely, and it smells divine. A few more minutes, and we should be done. Let me check on our rice. It still seems to be cooking, but it's brown rice. It takes forever to cook. No issue there. Now this is going to be a really good dinner option. If you got like a friend coming over and you're watching a movie or something, this would be a very good option for that. That hint of cinnamon makes all the difference. All right. And it hasn't stuck once, which is awesome. Usually, I have a terrible time of everything sticking, but today it hasn't, which is wonderful. I'm guessing by the time this is finished, I think it's going to be more of 4 people than to 2 for the amount of people it can serve. Now, I don't have an apron on today, but it's green curry, it's not red curry, so I don't have to worry about it staining my clothes. Well, not as much anyway. Oh, the lighting hasn't been the best today, and you're kind of far away from me. But the food still came out pretty good, so that's that. I'm going to turn off my stove. Give that a few quick stirs. Check on my rice. That's still cooking. Alright, I'm going to let this kind of cool down on my stove for a minute. After my rice is done, I'm going to plate it up and show you. And while that's happening, I'm going to try to clean up a little bit. So I'll see you in a few. Oh, in case I forget to do an outro, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I post. And you can follow me on all my social medias at SweetGAmber. I actually have a blog channel. That is my personal channel that I've been putting up videos. I'm trying to do it about 2 or 3 times a week. This is going to be doing 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And those videos are going to come out on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, hopefully. I'm still figuring that vlog thing out. Where I blog, or I vlog, like when I go for my walks and things. Like after this recipe is up online and up on YouTube for all of you to see, I make another video to put the day after. Because I'm trying to be consistent and put different stuff out. But I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to see you in a few. Now that our rice is done, I actually brought the camera up a little bit so you could watch me plate it and you could see what my curry looks like. It looks like that. See? Loveliness, that is curry. We're going to take the top off. See if we can get the spoon unstuck without burning ourselves. Alright. And close the lid. Alright. There we have our vegan potato, chickpea, and spinach curry with brown rice. It's not very spicy. It's kind of sweet. I tasted the sauce a little bit. I'm sorry, I went ahead. Let me taste it right now. A little bit of this lovely rice. Get a little bit of everything. Closer. Now our potatoes came out perfect. Our chickpeas have softened enough to where we can eat them. Our sauce is absolutely divine. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.